Hello, welcome back to yet another session of Catalysis. Catalysis is where we look at the process of the Catalyst Fund. The Catalyst Fund is a project within the Cardano ecosystem, right? So within the Cardano ecosystem, every time a transaction happens within the network, a little bit of money goes into a pot, which is called the treasury. And at the moment, this little pot has amassed an approximate 100 million US dollars equivalent of ADA inside of it, right? ADA being the cryptocurrency that is native to Cardano. And so the idea is that from that treasury, the community every now and then, every 6 to 8 weeks, a fund is released, and along with it some money. And so members of the community are able to, come along with the proposals. They're able to develop it, over that 6 weeks, and engage with the community, get to have their get to meet people who they collaborate with, and in the end have the community votes, and they're able to if they're successful, then they get some funding. If not, then they can always come back, right? So that's the awesomeness of that. So as I said, 100 million is how much is in treasury, and it keeps on adding, right? And mind you, this is coming from billions of transactions which happen. So the treasury is at 100 million. That's going to actually keep growing, and the fund sizes themselves at the moment, it's 500,000 for 2 challenges, so 250. So fund 3 is basically 500 grand all in all. But that's going to carry on growing, because in fund 2 it doubled from fund 2, right? So fund 2 was just 250k. So that's what Catalysis is, that's what Catalyst is, and that's what Cardano is. So in this particular video, I'm going to be breaking down the cohort, basically the group who were in fund 2 and decided, hey, you know what, I'm actually going to propose something, either something old which they proposed in fund 2, or something new entirely, which they then go on to propose in fund 3. And I'm going to be specifically looking at the second challenge, which is the ecosystem, right? So developer ecosystem, and we're going to be sort of looking at the specific group of proposals, right? Those which fall under being proposed by people who are in fund 2 and within the ecosystem. Or developer ecosystem challenge, right? So those are the proposals we're going to be looking at today, right? So I just need to get set up quickly on here. Hello, the 3 people in watching this on Twitter / Periscope, and the 1 person on YouTube. Thanks for actually turning up live. Thank you. And those who are going to be watching it in the replay, tell a friend, support content that is not just clickbaity stuff, right? People actually putting in the time and the work to educate people on the awesomeness of crypto, not just, hey, get rich quick stuff, right? Okay, so why did I go? Oh, I know why I went there. Okay, so we're going to try and do this really quite quickly, and we're doing good so far, actually, just 4 minutes in. Good. Normally that whole spiel at the beginning takes way too long. Okay, so here we have the projects broken down. So what we're looking at here is a spreadsheet which has been put together by a lovely awesome community member, who goes by the name Daniel, or also goes by the name Crypto Faye. So crypto is written, and then Faye, F-A-Y. So you can find him on Twitter, and on Reddit, I believe he goes by that handle as well. So this is a copy of what he did, because I just sort of created a copy and just went to town on it, so to speak. So we're going to be looking at these projects or proposals in order of least amount of money asked for to most amount of money asked for. And so yeah, let's just actually get started, get right into it. Yet again, I am first here, but the reason why I'm first, this is yours truly. Oh, I forgot to say, yeah, go to cardano.ideascale.com. Okay, the browser is not actually visible, but yeah, so cardano.ideascale.com. Yeah, to be able to join the community and join Catalyst and be able to actually propose something. You don't actually need to own any ADA or any anything like that. You just come along and yeah, and propose it. So yeah, so this is a proposal that I put forward that is within the developer ecosystem challenge. And yeah, let's actually just get into it. So, crypto-centric graphical IDE. Problem: coding experiences are a barrier to adoption. Solution: zero code maximizes adoption, so a graphical integrated development environment, which is what IDE stands for, makes sense to pursue. Now, the reason why this is in reserve and the reason why I'm starting with this particular proposal is because when I put it together, the field which required you to enter how much money you think that this challenge should, or this proposal, it's not really a challenge actually, yeah, this proposal would require to execute. I believe that field was not present at the beginning, right? And then I think they basically sort of turned it on, so the proposal didn't actually have the amount of money that it was requesting. And so I think as a result of that, it has now been put in reserve, which means basically I believe that it's basically been archived. And it's not going to be eligible to be voted on because it didn't say how much would be actually going into it, which is okay, because actually I didn't have much time to actually develop it, as you can see. Or it's not actually really evident because you can't see the rest of the application, but yeah. Okay, cool. So that is that. Well, I suppose it makes sense to actually expand on it a little bit, right? So yeah. So if you think about it, if less know-how in terms of code, like learning a whole language in order to be able to solve a problem, if you don't require that and the tools to actually create products and services which still have the same characteristics that crypto enables, right? So censorship resistance and all sorts of awesomeness and uniqueness, like non-fungible tokens, etc. It comes at a cost, right? So limiting the need to know the know-how, right, requirement means that a lot more people are going to be able to use a technology, in this case sort of crypto-centric technology. But at the same time, that comes at a cost, right? So obviously that would be mitigated. But yeah, so that's the basic, that's the idea here. Within the ecosystem, to be able to grow it, we need basically better tools, right? Tools which enable more people, right, who have more problems to come and actually solve them, which will then create this this cycle, which would lead to basically a solving of problems, which just kind of compounds and happens faster and easier and richer as well, right? Because you have a broader group of people solving problems, right? So it's more problems and more perspectives in terms of solving these problems with better tools, which bring down the barrier. That's the idea behind this. So moving on to the next. That proposal was asking for, let's have a look, where the hell did, there you are. Click. Okay, so that proposal was asking for nothing because it was not included. Okay, so now onto the ones who actually did add some, add however much they were asking for. So here we have Joshua, For some reason his name didn't come up. That's weird. Anyway, so Joshua, that's him, the fellow closest to the camera, in the blue shirt. Yeah. So ABCD. Problem. Africa has brilliant minds that are full of ideas and energy, but who lack access to the infrastructure and funds to realize those ideas and that energy, their dreams, basically. Solution. ABCD. I keep on stopping at C for some reason. ABCD will create opportunities for Africans, providing blockchain solutions to the world, utilizing the pool of talent working from Africa and for Africa, I'm assuming as well. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's a cool idea. Again, actually, the same exact idea was presented, but he's rethought it, right? He's changed the amount of money, so now he's asking for 5,000 USD equivalent of ADA, which is less than before. He is basically scaled it down, which I think is a really good move, which I think is most likely going to actually get the project funded. I like it. It's actually based in Africa, in Nigeria, but I believe the idea is to be sort of Africa wide. And I think what's great about Africa specifically, if I could just actually expand on this, is people often ask why Africa and not something like India, for example, right? They kind of have the equivalent amount of people, like 1 point something billion. And the answer to the quick answer that I usually give is, in one place you're looking at a monolith, right? An environment which has one government, right? So decision making is centralized. And on the other, you have a diversity, right? Where different countries, different cultures, different languages. Yes, India has that as well, but Africa has a lot more of that, right? For example, in Kenya, for example, there's like close to 50 languages, and that's just one African country. Right, and in India, I don't think there's that amount of diversity of spoken languages. Maybe, I don't know, but anyway, the point is governance, right? So Africa as a whole has a whole bunch of different countries, and the governments and the governance structures and the problems as well in the different regions are different. So that presents a much richer opportunity, basically. And so I think actually having the infrastructure in place and the funds, right, which ABC here is proposing, I think all that should really make a difference, because in a way this looks at a problem in a way where it's teaching how to fish as opposed to giving a fish. So I really quite like it. So moving on to this third project, which is asking for 6,019, quite specific, oddly specific. So yeah, this is it. The Ico Research Group. Again, this is a repeat offender. Excuse me. So this is a project that was same graphic, or similar at least, I think. So decentralized funding report problem. See PDF attached. Okay, that. Oh, come on, like see PDF. Dude, like, just anyway, decentralized funding is a highly complicated system / process, and we still need to figure out how to make it all work. Yeah, sure, okay, so that's a problem. Okay, and that was a solution. We were involved in a similar project before which worked very well, and we can write out a report to learn from it. A similar project to this proposal. So you want to wait, because this proposal is to write a report. So if it's similar to this, did you previously write a report of a report? So I'm assuming, okay, that's probably not the case. So similar project, what do they mean? Catalyst, which is basically decentralized funding, right? And given that ICO is initial coin offering, right? So I'm assuming that that's what they mean. Anyway, I was really, to be honest, I was off put by the fact that they're trying to sort of circumvent the structure which is in place, which is CPDF, right? Obviously, in the PDF, you're not limited to the character limitations of which are enforced here. So it's not really a it seems like a smart move, but it's really not. It's actually no. Okay, so the name did not come up for some reason. Let's try refreshing. Maybe it'll come up. Nope. Highlight. Maybe if we scroll over it. Nope. Okay, so Ouroboros networking. Ouroboros networking Rust crate. So I'm assuming Rust is a programming language. Crate, I've no idea. I've never heard of that concept in computing. Okay, so problem. Cardano needs alternative node implementations to increase resilience. Networking stack is one of the critical components of such a node. Okay, node implementations. What, so like stakeable operator node? Do they want to rewrite? Anyway, okay, let's have a look at the solution. Develop server-side Ouroboros networking protocol as part of our already existing client-side Rust crate / library. Ouroboros networking protocol as part of already existing client side. Okay, so they have something that's client side, right? So client side is obviously like on your device, and then server side is on the server. So what they want to do is develop one for the server, which is similar to what they already have on the client side locally. So in other words, remote for what is available locally. Rust crate library, or crate / library. Again, I've no idea. I've not actually come across the word crate before this term, but I do know what a library is. But yeah, okay, cool. Sounds interesting. I think more diversity on the consensus algorithm side of things, which is what Ouroboros is. Ouroboros is the consensus algorithm for Cardano. So yeah, more diversity, I think, is rich and important, and in terms of the ecosystem, that would be an interesting thing. So yeah, I think this is actually quite a good idea. Big picture. The possible downside I see with this is possibly some duplication of this functionality already existing with implementations like the K framework or the Yella framework. Basically, existing stuff which is being worked on might make this somewhat redundant, or even the Rena implementation might somehow make this somewhat redundant. But more options, I think, is more often than not a better thing than not. So Boon is back again. So Ada Makespace Dev Lessons. So this was an application which, or proposal which was in fund2. Yeah, so let's have a look. Problem: need new training videos for learning how to build with Marlowe and Plutus playgrounds. Some people learn better watching others do things. Yeah, sure. So the solution. Yeah, that wasn't really much of a problem though. Oh, is the problem the need for new training videos? Okay, maybe. Because I feel like the internet is, rife or has abundant tutorials, and Marlowe and Plutus are basically programming languages, just for those who are unaware. And yeah, playgrounds is an environment where you can, it's basically, it's in the word, it's a playground, sort of a safe environment where you can just sort of like try out different stuff with the programming languages. So the solution: Ada Makerspace provides free video lessons for anyone interested in learning how to build things that will run on the Cardano blockchain. Okay, yeah, so basically online video tutorials of how to use specifically Marlowe and Plutus. Yeah, okay. I feel perhaps it's here's the thing. In fund2, I think a bunch of folks liked this idea, but obviously it didn't get voted on. It did not get enough support. So yeah, and maybe because it's not sort of unique or because the other people who are making Marlowe and Plutus tutorials, perhaps maybe because there's no unique selling point. But yeah, more content, and actually, as he pointed out, the diverse nature of how people learn. Oh crap, what did I just do? Did I just close that? Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, the diverse nature of how people learn is important to acknowledge. So the more different perspectives in terms of like tutorials and stuff, the better. But whether or not that's worth 13,600 USD equivalent of ADA, that's a whole other question. Right, so in the previous one, the Ouroboros networking Rust Crate was asking for 7,000 USD equivalent of ADA, and before that, Decentralized funding report was asking for I already said that's 6,019. Oddly specific. So moving on to developer in Sbo Tools, which is asking for 14,500. So Ola is proposing developer in Sbo Tools. Problem: developers need easy to use tools to query and analyze a blockchain, as well as integration opportunities for adoption. Okay, solution: provide integrations in CN Tools to easily query chain data and integrate third-party developed applications. Okay, yeah, so yeah, CN Tools is like part of the tool set that folks use from a development standpoint. So query. I wonder how this would be different to like Postgres queries and stuff. Query chain data and integrate third-party developed applications. Okay, so big picture, more tooling basically. You know, and I think if it's actually helping be like a jigsaw puzzle element in terms of allowing for better implementation for third-party developer applications, integrating them, I think that would be cool. And obviously querying the chain data is actually quite important. So like looking into data onto the actual blockchain itself. Yeah, so how are we doing for time? 26. Okay, we're halfway there. Okay, I think we can actually be able to get this in under 30. Might jinx it. Okay, so Lucas, Tatum.io, Cardano integration problem. Wallet transactions are alpha omega. Okay, we have well-known platform Tatum.io. We want to bring Cardano to developers via our platform. As opposed to bringing developers to Cardano, you're bringing Cardano to developers. Interesting. So solution, we will implement full Cardano support into our platform, wallets, tokens, staking. What exactly is a well-known platform? What wallet transaction? Yeah, what? Okay, I don't get what your platform does. I mean, I could go to Tatum.io to figure it out, but it would be nice to actually have possibly had it in there. But okay, yeah, so more integrations and to wallet level, I suppose. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, okay. So next, Ken proposes Marlow and Brutus mobile. I'm trying to figure out what the image is. Okay, so problem. Many people have access to cell phones, well, mobile phones, smartphones. I'm not sure whether he means feature phones as well. Probably not. But not computers, which makes programming more difficult to learn and develop in developing nations. Okay, fair enough. So solution, to build a mobile interface for making ASTs that focuses mainly on Cardano languages. Also a server to manage compilation collaboration. Okay, so yeah, big picture here is basically enabling people to basically program on phones, which will be interesting. Moving on, Lucas proposes, welcome to Cardano developer. Problem, too much information in a lot of places, sometimes difficult to find, can discourage many developers, all with our support. Okay, so basically is too much information everywhere, and that can be intimidating or off-putting for people who actually want to develop. So the solution, we will create an updated signpost, a kind of developer portal where all information will be available. Okay. That's helpful, although I feel like that might be sort of the major things like, okay, centralization and sort of redundancy possibly, right? So like, what are they providing that, say, the Cardano Foundation website and sort of documentation, or that which IOHK already has presented? What are they doing that is not already there, or are they taking that and sort of creating an environment where people can then actually expand on that, right? And are they leveraging some, like Git versioning software, like whether it's GitHub or GitLab, or basically are they creating a branch, or are they just creating yet another destination, which is a leaf, right, that connects to the trunk, which is the consensus algorithm and the ledger. So let's have a look. Okay, so this one, last edited by Josh. Obviously Josh, that looks like a lady. And anyway, so West Africa, West Africa Decentralized Alliance. So problem, I think that must be Mercy. It looks a little bit different. Right, so West African developers. So the problem is West African developers, academia, and governments are unaware of Cardano's potential to solve local problems. Okay, that's actually quite a well formulated problem statement. So solution, create a network of Cardano resource hubs for solutions design via local influence and developer onboarding throughout West Africa. Okay. So you're creating a network of resource hubs. Okay. I'll be curious. Yeah, via local influence and developer onboarding. Okay. It's not entirely clear whether this is a physical thing or a virtual thing, especially now given that we're living through this whole pandemic. But yeah, I think Africa is rich potential. West Africa, I'm assuming that the proposer / proposers have a specific knowledge or expertise within this specific region of West Africa, which is why they're being specific to that. But yeah, networking and sort of creating an environment to actually be able to onboard people to actually build products and services, I think is quite important. Okay, Geronimo, hey. We've seen a number of. He's quite proactive in the proposal sphere. So Geronimo proposes wallet name system. Problem: users should be able to have the option to send funds to human readable names instead of wallet addresses. Yeah, so as I basically sort of expanded on, this is basically what this is. In the same way, your browser, you type in the browser URL domain space, you type in a human readable words or sentences or whatever, and then the computer translates it to machine, what machines understand, right, which is like a whole bunch of IP numbers, etc. So what he's trying to do here is create an acronym which is which has a an analogous version. So DNS, domain name space, is what on a browser level translates human readable to machine readable. So that's what he's trying to do here with wallet namespace, or WNS. Solution: to build a decentralized network that maps names and other information to wallet addresses, much like the internet's DNS, but for wallets. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Cool idea. It's been implemented, I think, on Ethereum somewhat, and I'm not sure whether it's been done on Bitcoin. But yeah, it's in terms of adoption, I think it's an important sort of rich thing to do. So ADA pools. ADA pools kit for developers, APIs. Okay. Problem: we want to provide to developers a few basic tools in an open way to make it much easier to start developing Cardano network. Okay, cool. Basic tools, yeah, I like that. Solution: we will provide several useful tools and extensions to developers and make their work easier, or to make their work easier. Okay, the solution doesn't really say more than what the problem statement sort of did. I was hoping that the solution would actually say a little bit more. But okay, yeah, I think that's pretty straightforward. Okay, so moving on to the second to last. So Dwayne Cameron, DC. Again, repeat offender. Liquid Developer Portal, Cardano SDK, Cardano Software Development Kit. So the problem is DeFi teams need software development kits for decentralized applications and oracles to build extensible use cases with maximum security and composability on Cardano. Solution: 1. JavaScript SDK for Cardano and the Liquid protocol. The SDK wraps around the Address-JS SDK. Okay, so Address is in the Cardano ecosystem is basically sort of the way that exchanges get to interact with Cardano. It's sort of like the in between. Oracle, and then number 2, Oracle Open Price Feed SDK. Okay, that's helpful. So an Oracle is basically like a third party who just gets data and feeds back to a particular place, to a particular place, kind of like a messenger, right? And obviously there's a whole bunch of aspects or things that go into play in terms of being able to actually make them trusted. And yeah, so open price feed SDK. And then thirdly, Android SDK. So basically to have a little bit of a thing that you can add into an Android application, which will be able to directly talk to the Liquid protocol. Yeah, this is actually a really solid idea and solutions. Yeah, wasn't entirely sold on the JavaScript SDK for Cardano because I feel like, again, that might be redundant in terms of once smart contracts come online and the K framework and sort of the Yella what's the word? Basically, we're going to be able to have people write functionality for applications in whatever language that they choose, computer language, and have that be translated. You'll go through a compiler, basically it'll translate it and be able to have it execute within, say, Plutus, within the blockchain environment. So JavaScript SDK might be a little bit redundant. I mean, it might be efficient in the short term. Before that, or even then, it might sort of make the process faster. But anyway, it's worth pointing that out. Okay, so lastly, oh, okay, cool. Geronimo again. I've been forgetting to mention the prices. I just mentioned the ones for the last 3. So Ada Pools kit for developers is asking for for 40 grand. Liquid is asking for 52 grand 500. And lastly, free commerce sell online with Ada is asking for 75 grand, which is this problem statement: enabling stores to sell goods and services for Ada requires intermediaries who have control over your money and charge fees and commissions. Solution: to build open source intermediary commission-free payment integrations with Ada and native tokens, which flows directly from buyer to seller. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. Let's see. Yeah, that was other. As I said earlier in the overview version of the ecosystem, there were other proposals in Fund2 which look to solve this particular problem. And whilst it is it would be of additional value in terms of the ecosystem, open source intermediary and commission-free payment integrations with Ada and native tokens, which flows directly from buyer to seller. Yeah, I mean, I'll be interested to find out more about this. yeah. So let's actually just wrap this up. So hope you found this informative, insightful. The purpose here is to basically, I understand that, folks, whether folks won't have as much time to go through all these applications. So I figure actually giving like a good giving a detailed overview of them would be somewhat helpful, so that once people actually get to voting, they're actually somewhat a little bit better informed than they otherwise would be, right? Having just I don't know, having just waited for someone within the community to say, oh, have you heard of this kind of thing. Just so the idea here is I'm going to be breaking them down a lot more in terms of obviously, because so far I've just broken it down in the context of the fund2 cohort, and then I've done fund2 cohort, decentralized apps, and then now I've done the ecosystem. I'll look now into the different categories, right? Not specific to fund2, just like open, like games, social networks, like because yesterday I did identity, so that was good. Some folks have actually been watching that, and so so if you like this, let me know. If you didn't, let me know as well. Tell me, hey, I think you can be able to do this a lot better in this particular way. Obviously it's still early days, and doing stuff live is not as efficient as doing a pre-recorded video, right? But either way, thank you for watching. If you are a future proposer, right, if you're a proposer on Fund3 or any future funds, reach out to me. The point of Catalysis, where is it? There it is. As I said, is to look into this whole process, and as a proposer, you shouldn't be required to be to have a massive following and to be an expert in sort of presentation and video editing and so on, which is why Catalysis exists. So the idea is to actually be able to have conversations and to put human faces to proposals, right? Because in a somewhat predictable fashion in fund2, the ones who are actually successful are those who really kind of connected with people, right? Folks who are able to say, okay, well, that proposal, that is from that particular proposer. So actually engaging and communicating, putting your face out there, and letting people actually get to know you, that forms a sense of trust, so that and people really get to understand you and hear you speak, and get to see your mind at work, right, in real time, because these interviews would be live in the same way this is live, right? Because there's a value in understanding how someone thinks, right, as opposed to a pre-recorded statement which you memorize and you record and you post up kind of thing. So reach out, let's have a conversation. In the meantime, thank you very much. I look forward to engaging with you folks virtually, or or in person, post pandemic. And happy watching, happy voting, happy proposing, and hope this finds you well. Thanks for watching.